What's that? What's that? That's a good.
Good morning. Welcome to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Brent, and I just want to welcome you all this morning. And I just heard a little reminder from God. Let's turn off our cell phones. Turn them completely off so they don't interfere with the sound system. And then after you've done that, turn and greet your neighbor. Please. It's so good. I don't know if you noticed as you were greeting that person next to you, if you looked in their eyes and saw the divine. Yeah.
Namaste.
Yeah. Namaste. So welcome. And we're just glad to see you here this morning. We know that there is going to be something here today for you, whether it be the message, the music, or meeting another divine being. So after we do our chant, which will be on the screen, it'll be followed by our opening prayer by Janet Karyl Ryan. Good morning.
Let's all stand up. Get grounded in the earth. And feel the river that you are that flows. This life that you are flows over the earth, inside the earth. Here we go. River, she is flowing, flowing and growing. River, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, a child I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. River, she is flowing, flowing and growing. The river, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. Yeah. River, she is flowing, flowing and growing. The river, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. Now take it inside. River, she is flowing, flowing and growing. River, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea, down to the sea, down to the sea.
And with ease and grace, I invite you to flow right into the opening prayer, knowing that this affirmative word is an interconnection with the divine all that is, always in flow. From the sparkling stars in the night sky to the starfish on a glistening beach, it flows. The infinite energy behind all form that moves and morphs and becomes. I know that this is the essence of all life. Unlimited, indivisible, and therefore I know it is the essence of my life, all life everywhere. And I and all, every beloved here is an essential channel for that flow. expressing the divine uniquely, exquisitely, bountifully, abundantly. And all of the gifts of the divine that flow from the invisible energy into form are the gifts that we receive, share, and partake in. And so in this affirmation of truth, I declare and know that whatever it is that is desired, be it health, financial well-being, relationship, creative expression, it is available, it is already given. And so I accept the gift from that shifting consciousness that simply unifies with the reality, the greater reality, seeking expression through us. And I take this moment to accept it with gratitude. I give thanks for the abundant flow of the divine, in, through, and as all that we are and all that we are becoming. And with a deep, grateful breath, I give thanks, releasing this word into its fulfillment as a blessing for the world. And so it is. Amen. Well, it's my pleasure to welcome our returning guest musician, Ami Taban. Ami is a gifted songwriter. He sings so directly from the heart. I have one of his CDs, and it's such a pleasure to ride in the car and listen to his words and be embraced in the music that he shares. So we welcome Bodhi and Ami. And Ami has a table with his CDs and wants you to know that he also sings with community in chanting evenings. So you can sign up for his email list and be part of that. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. So you might recognize a few of these words. Say, truth is older than the hills. So in that spirit, I borrowed a few verses for this one. Row your boat down the stream merrily. This life is but a dream, praising creation and praising this plan. I sing the song of the sky, this mystery is a lie. It's what we're made of. We are love. We are the love. Yeah. It's a gift to be simple. It's a gift to be free. It's a gift to return to where we love to be, and we keep on turning till we come round right, and we sing the song of the sky. This mystery
could sing that all day.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. We are the love. We are the love. Put your hands together. We are the love. 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 We are the
That was so perfect for today, and you'll find out why. That was so great. God is so good. Good morning, all you happy faces. I'm Reverend Karyl Huntley, and I'm introducing myself because there are some new people here today, and people back after a long time, although I don't think you would have forgotten my name. But I am introducing myself to those of you who are new, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you feel completely at home, just like the rest of us do. You are entering into this yearly theme at a very interesting time. The theme is how to happily coexist with all our earthly forms. And actually, we are coming to the end of studying an essay that our founder, Ernest Holmes, wrote in like 12 statements, nicely fitting into the calendar. So it's kind of almost the climax of this essay. And for those of you that are here for the first time, the entire essay is right over there on that easel. So what we're talking about today is we believe in the control of conditions through the power of the mind. And the word for this month is conditions. Now, conditions, when we talk about conditions, we are talking about all of the situations that delight and worry us. We're talking about all the money stuff, the relationship stuff, the work stuff, the body stuff, all of that entangles us on earth and either serves as our blessing or our frustration. And so it's interesting for you to come right at this statement, because this statement is it's kind of seductive to say that if you come and believe like we do, that you can control all of the conditions in your life. Well, that's not exactly where I'm going to go with this. It's not so much about wrestling the conditions to suit us, but it is rather in a spiritually mature way to either create the life we love or love the life we have created. Let me say that again. That we learn how to create the life we love, or we love the life that we have created. And if you have, and I have, and this is an ongoing thing, it's not just for 2014 that we do this, but if we have internalized all of those 9 other statements before this one about the control of conditions, we have a better opportunity of controlling conditions. So those have to do with internalizing our oneness with God, just like the song was, knowing the willingness of life to say yes to us, that when we put out there a desire of our heart, that it's not the purpose of the universe to frustrate us. It is the purpose of the universe to fulfill us. And as we take ourselves lightly and know that we are deserving, which is a huge thing for many of us, and as we heal beliefs of lack, scarcity, and the benefits of suffering, and we know that all of the conditions have already been given, It's a pretty gentle, it's a gentle thing. It's a gentle process to say, I'll have some more of that good, please, and have it happen that way. But all of those other things, if they happen first, there's a greater sense of the truth that that really will happen to you. And so the talk today, the title is Gently Down the Stream. And the idea about Gently Down the Stream, which is one of the perfect things about Ami's first song, is that here we have the flow. The flow is the word for today. And so imagine that this is the river. And on this river, there are qualities like love and order and vibrancy and sufficiency and joy and abundance. And these are flowing down the same river. We're on the river. All of the qualities of God are on the river. And so we kind of scoop up ours right as we go along. We're flowing down the river, and we scoop up our joy, and we scoop up our sufficiency, and we encourage our beloveds to do the same thing. Because there's no competition in God. Come on, you can have yours, and you can have yours. You just flow down the stream and accept what has already been given. So Kathy Fowler has created an altar today that says exactly this. This is, you got to come up and see this altar, but I'll describe it to you. So we have the angels that are blessing and spanning the river. The blue cloth is the river, and the fountain is the flow. And everything is on the river, and everything is blessed. And there's a little Adirondack chair here that means this happens with ease. And there's a pumpkin on the other side, which the pumpkin, I love the symbolism of the pumpkin, and this is Kathy's symbolism, is that it is the symbol of the whole universe because it has all of the seeds inside that will create all the stuff, all the conditions, the pumpkins in any form we want those pumpkins. That's the nature of the seed, the soil, and the manifestation. And then there are beautiful shells along the pathway. And then, because it's Kathy's altar and she has to have whimsy on all of her altars, we have a little skeleton basking under an umbrella for Day of the Dead that is coming. So we're nothing if not whimsical here. So thank you, Kathy. So with this flow, if we think about it, what we all really want, if we were to ask the deepest question after I want the house and I want the fella and I want the happy grandchildren and I want the car or whatever, and we kept asking, well, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? What we all really want is pretty much the same thing. We want to be happy. We want to be content. We want to be at ease. We want to rid ourselves of the way that frustration and conflict feels within us, or that doubt or fear. We want to be in the flow. And so there is some happiness research that has been done by this man with the last name with too many extra letters in it. His name is Mike Csikszentmihalyi. And he has written this book called Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience. Optimal experience is happiness. And so what he says is that about 30% of us are happy, very happy, when we do these questionnaires. From 1950 to the present, that about 30% of us are very happy. And that 30% has maintained itself through all of the growth in the GNP. And so it doesn't really have much to do with what we have. It has to do really more with doing what we came to do. When we do what we came to do, when we give our gifts, as long as the survival needs are met, when we do what our soul wants to do, we're happy. So in preparation for this talk, I read some of this book, and I also watched a TED Talk that Csikszentmihalyi spoke, and he quoted the reason I'm telling you all this is that I don't have all of the information, because he says this is a quote from a 1970s composer. I don't know the name of this composer, but supposedly he interviewed many people. He interviewed athletes, he interviewed poets, he interviewed business people, parents, and this person who was a composer. And so this is what this guy, this composer guy, said about being in the flow. You are in an ecstatic state to such a point that you feel as though you almost don't exist. I have experienced this time and again. My hand seems devoid of myself, and I have nothing to do with what is happening. I just sit there watching it in a state of awe and wonderment, and the music just flows out of itself. So this man, this composer, in order to be happy, all he needs is a piece of white paper and a pencil. And he makes little marks on the paper, and he hears music in his soul that has never been heard before. And he is in ecstasy. Now, all of us have, how many of you have experienced anything like this? Yeah, okay. So you know what I'm talking about. It happens when you're giving your gifts. It happens in sports. It happens in writing and creating. It happens in deep conversation. It happens in making love. It happens in practicing. It happens in teaching. It happens in cooking, and we saw it today. We saw it today. This is what I wanted to tell you guys. It was so cool because this was not what the rehearsal sounded like. And it went on longer. And it went on with greater flourish. And you saw both of them just like get into the zone. And when Bodhi said, I could do this all day, it was like, yeah, you probably could. Because they were in that flow of creative joy. So what a gift you gave us that was like unexpected. I mean, I expected you to give us music, but an example of, see, this is what I'm talking about. So this intense well-being we have called a high, we have called being in the flow, and as spiritual seekers we call it grace. It's something that we love and we seek, and then it just kind of comes together and it happens. So I want to talk for a little bit about the conditions of flow, because although we can't order these up, when you have them in your mind about this is what happens, then it's kind of a map for you, and you can kind of be ready for it, and really give thanks for when you're heading into it. So the first thing is you know what to do. So it takes some clarity. If you have not thought about what your divine gift is in the world, well, there is a practitioner waiting to talk to you. Because there is a way, one is prayer, one is visioning, for us to get a glimpse of what our soul longs to give. And when you have clarity, you know what to do. That's the first condition of being in the flow. And the second is you know how to do it. So this takes practice. Now I imagine that Bodhi and Ami have practiced for decades to get to this place. Just as Olympic athletes practice for decades to get to their place. So maybe that's why life is so long, that we get to practice and practice and practice in giving our gifts so that we get the goodies of being in this flow. But we know what to do and we know how to do it. And before we get to that level of flow, we feel that we have some mastery in what we're doing. Whether that is cooking a souffle or writing a poem or running a mile, or in counseling someone where you go in and you say, I of myself know nothing, but something and the perfect thing will emerge. then as you're in it or approaching it, you know how well you're doing. And so this is kind of like you get your groove on. You kind of feel like, yeah, baby, this is going well. And you don't have to think about what comes next. It kind of comes into, isn't this right? It kind of comes into your hands, right? Right. I'm looking at the musicians, they're kind of, well, maybe. But you kind of, like, I had this experience in college when I was in a stage performance of something. And I, like, got in this zone, and it was better than ever. And everybody else on stage felt that it was also better than ever. And everybody in the audience felt that it was better than ever. And afterwards, the director said, "What happened to you?" And so it was so great. You kind of know what you're doing. You get in the groove, and you say, there's a part of you, an observer part of you, that say, "This is going very well. Thank you very much." And so then, also, it is, you perceive that the challenge is high. It's difficult to do what you're doing. Not everybody can do it. And it is your years of mastery. It is all of that time that you have taken to learn how to give your gift. And it's hard. It's like Olympic athletes. I mean, what they do, I think it's pretty hard. And I imagine that some people would think that what I do is pretty hard, but it's my gift. And so it's the same with you. Then the other piece of this, not only is it high perceived challenges, but high perceived skills. You know you're pretty masterful at it. And you give thanks for that. And you don't have any worries that it's not going to work. That, that you can screw this up. Because you're in the zone. You're in that flow. So for me, sometimes when I am in the middle of a ritual, and especially if I'm doing a ritual and something initially happened that was not what we thought, that we couldn't put the little goblet where we thought we were going to put it, or something happens that you have to shift in the moment, for me it sort of enhances that possibility that that groove will be established. So when I'm doing a ritual, sometimes when I'm preparing a talk, sometimes when I'm delivering a talk, sometimes when I'm answering a question in class, I hit this zone, and it's always a gift, and I never know exactly when it's going to happen. The last thing that I want to talk about is very important, and that is freedom from distractions. So it's not only that it's no disturbance from the environment, that the environment supports this gift that you are being given, but more important, really, is that you don't have any distractions from within. You don't have any doubt. You don't have any comparison. You don't have any wanting it to be different. You certainly do not have any need to control the situation because it's going better than you could ever have thought it was going to go. There's no force involved, and there's no self-imposed contradiction in you. There's nothing to inhibit the flow. So, Csikszent Mihalyi says that all of us can we can process about 110 bits of information per second. And so remember, he's a psychologist, and we're going to translate this to spirituality, but in the psychologist's view of flow, it happens because about 110 bits of information is all that we can handle in a second. And if you're listening closely to me now, you are using about 60 bits of information per second. So if you are giving your gift and are fully engaged, you don't have any bandwidth to think about anything else. Do you get that? Your 110 bits of information are being utilized to do your task, to give your gift. And we become so engrossed in what we're doing that we don't have any mind power to pay attention to anything else. So in that quote, it's when he says it's like I dissolved, it is. It's like you dissolve because you don't have any bandwidth anymore to think about, well, am I hungry or am I in love? What is that feeling inside? You know, you don't have any bandwidth to think about yourself or your body or the environment. You are focused on giving your gift, and you have no other sensation available except the giving of the great work. That's what you're doing. You are busy giving the great work. So, translating that into spirituality, what we would say is that you have given yourself entirely into God. You have surrendered. You have surrendered into God so that there is no other thing that is calling for your attention. You are fully engrossed in giving your divine gift. So, another wonderful thing happened this morning. On my way here, I had a 20-minute conversation with Reverend Barbara Leger. Now, for those of you who are new, we have a sister community in Cherkasy, Ukraine. And Reverend Barbara is the director of that Ukrainian work. And so what she told me made me so grateful that we live in Marin and have the opportunity to spend our energy in giving our gifts. Because in Ukraine right now, the economy has tanked. The hryvnia, a year or so ago, it was 8 to $1. Now it's 14 to $1. The people are concerned about Putin. The people are concerned about Russia, and Russia doesn't want war any more than Ukraine wants war. They don't want, Ukraine was thinking that there was a plan in place to take them to the European Union, and all of a sudden they're afraid that they're going backwards into a dictatorship, and it's going into winter, and everything costs 3 times more. So gasoline and heating oil costs 3 times more. And so the people that are at her center are worried about getting through the winter. And so what we said was, if you have your survival taken care of, then you can give your gifts at any moment and reach this state of ecstasy. So what happens is that Reverend Barbara is teaching them in the midst of this great upheaval and uncertainty about where their warmth and food is going to come from. She is teaching peace. And so everybody on her staff is saying, my job is to be peace. My job is to be peace. And so she told me about these new programs that are just birthing themselves with, there's nothing like 12-step programs over there, but there's a group of people that have healed themselves of addictions, and now they're starting this whole program about healing of addictions, and they are being peace and doing their work. And in spite of the hardships of that land, they are in ecstasy because they are doing the greater work. And so I'm thinking, we got it good here. But what it also says to me is that this impetus for us to give our gifts and live our heart's desire not only makes us happy, but it heals anything like disappointment or tragedy or hardship. And so I wanted to read a little part in this book about flow, because it's not just for happy people to get happier. It is for anybody in distress to journey into God. So this is in a chapter called Cheating Chaos, and it's a section called Tragedies Transformed. And I'm going to read a couple of kind of long paragraphs. It's a story about a person. Rather incredible examples of how people achieve flow despite extreme handicaps have been collected by Professor Fausto Massimini of the Psychology Department of the University of Milan. One group he and his team studied was composed of paraplegics, generally young people who at some point in the past, usually as the result of an accident, have lost the use of their limbs. The unexpected finding of this study was that a large proportion of the victims mentioned the accident that caused the paraplegia as both one of the most negative and one of the most positive events in their lives. The reason tragic events were seen as positive was that they presented the victim with very clear goals while reducing contradictory and inessential choices. The patients who learned to master the new challenges of their impaired situation felt a clarity of purpose they had lacked before. Learning to live again was in itself a matter of enjoyment and pride, and they were able to turn the accident from a source of entropy into an occasion of inner order. Lucio, one of the members of this group, was a 20-year-old happy-go-lucky gas station attendant when a motorcycle accident paralyzed him below the waist. He had previously liked playing rugby and listening to music, but basically he remembers his life as purposeless and uneventful. After the accident, his enjoyable experiences have increased both in number and complexity. Upon recovery from the tragedy, he enrolled in college, graduated in languages, and now works as a freelance tax consultant. Both study and work are intense sources of flow. So are fishing and shooting with a bow and arrow. He is currently a regional archery champion competing from a wheelchair. So, giving our gifts is not only the greatest joy of our life, but can be the greatest healing of our life as well. The greatest healing, the greatest source of connecting, the most heart-opening, the most necessary thing when that is the most important thing in your life. Not only does this giving yourself into God instead of trying to control conditions with force work so well to get you happy and to heal whatever needs healing, it is also good for the world. Because as we give our gifts to the world, then the world benefits. This is a quote from John O'Donohue. The life and passion of a person leaves an imprint on the ether of a place. Love does not remain within the heart. It flows out to build secret tabernacles in the landscape. So Bodhi and Ami imprinted on the ether of this place by giving their divine gifts today. And Kathy imprinted on the ether of this place by giving her gift today. So, as time goes away and as we go away and we are taken over by God, I've used this word ecstasy. And actually, the quote of the composer also used the word ecstasy. So we have this image here that doesn't exactly say what I want to say, but I want to describe to you a little bit about the word ecstasy. It comes from the Greek, and it literally means to stand to the side. And you can see X out, stasy, stand, ecstasy, stand to the side. And it has come to mean this intense joy because we literally get out of ourselves for a moment. And what this image does to me is that our edges are leaky in this image. The skin is not the edge of us. That in ecstasy, we flow out into the landscape. And this intense well-being that we feel puts us in an alternate reality that is so great, there is no separation from God. Now, we can't control this state, as I said, but we can practice what we're passionate about. And we can also give every chance we get. Because as we give anything, time, money, interest, love, as we give, the direction is out. It helps with that leakiness of us to give. And then the last thing is just to trust, and then give thanks when this wonderful thing happens. So, in order for you to remember every single thing that I have said of importance today, there's this little song that you already know. So let's do it together. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Remember 3 rows and 4 merrilies. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Row your boat gently down the stream.
Merrily,
Merrily, merrily, merrily, merrily, life is but a dream.
row your boat gently down the stream.
Row your boat
Merrily,
down the
merrily,
stream.
merrily, merrily, life
Merrily,
is but a dream.
merrily, life is but a dream.
Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Now, all of you go out there and get in your boats. Thank you. So, when your friends ask you as you're playing tennis or shopping or walking later on today, well, what did that crazy church teach you today? This is it. As I give my gifts with abandon, I am in ecstasy. You tell them that. As I give my gifts with abandon, I am in ecstasy. So let's turn within for the inner work. And I would like you, this has been such a sweet morning, to just go into your heart of hearts that should be very leaky by now, very leaky. And just take a little trip backwards, back through your adulthood and your early adulthood. It's a pretty fast trip. Back through your teens, childhood, babyhood. Slip into that realm before your birth. And at that time, before you were born, you were given a bag of gifts that you came into this world to give again. You have carried this bag of gifts with you always. And now I'd like you to find it sitting here now in present time in your seat. Find your bag of gifts and open it up. And look at what you've already given. Look at who and what you've loved. What you have taught, either by intention or by accident, by mentoring or by example, or by being a bad example. What have you taught? What have you healed? What have you healed of your life right here? What have you healed back through the generations? How is it better because you are here now? What has been your work or invention? And what truth did you tell to another right at the perfect moment? Look through all of those gifts that you have already given and feel as well used as possible. But you aren't used up yet because you're still here. So look in the bottom of that gift bag and see what there is left to give. And vow that as you still get to see sunrises and sunsets on earth, that you will give until the last gift in your bag has been given. Blessed be.
Song a while back, and I realized it didn't have any songs about being in nature, and I spent a lot of time just out in nature and so touched. So I never play this one in churches, and I thought, I'm going to try this song today, and it's called The River, and it seemed to be a unexpectedly good fit. Water turns to glass and twilight has come and your body is so still, the many becomes one, the gentle sounds of the nightfall, the first star in the sky. Once there was a problem, but now you can't remember why. Singing her song flows downstream, rolling into the future, and a land unseen, singing her song as she flows downstream, rolling into the future, and a land unseen.
God, that was wonderful. Now is the time for giving your first, well, maybe it wasn't even your first opportunity to give after I suggested how good it is. Maybe you grabbed somebody's hand next to you and that was your first gift. But I'd like the ushers to come forward. And as you prepare your tithes and offerings, just do so with that leaky heart feeling that everything I have to give, I'm giving. And this is the symbol of it right here in this money. So just if you've loved this morning, I've loved this morning. And I'm going to continue to love the whole day. So just open up. Say this with me now. This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time, and so it is. So you guys just give to your heart's content now.
Okay, we have a new chant today. You up for learning a new one? I am awake to live my dream. My soul knows the way. Life flows as I believe, blossoming every day. I am awake to live my dreams. My soul knows the way. Life flows as I believe, blossoming every day. I am awake to live my dreams. My soul knows the way. Life flows as I believe, blossoming every day. I am awake to live my dreams. My soul knows the way. Life flows as I believe, blossoming every day. I am awake to live my dreams. My soul knows the way. Life flows as I believe, blossoming every day. I am awake to live my dreams. My soul knows the way. Life flows as I believe, blossoming every day. Life flows as I believe, blossoming every day. I am awake.
Yeah, we're great backup singers. That's right.
You are.
So I give thanks for these gifts. I give thanks for the dear hearts that gave them. I know that these gifts bless this community and beyond. And so it is. Amen. All right. So we have a few announcements about what is going on in the community and beyond. And the first is we are in the middle of our sharing program, which is the time of the year when we declare how much money we think we're going to give the community next year. It's a lovely thing that we do every October. It is a spiritually mature thing so that we can run the business of the community as well as all the lovey stuff. And so Scott and Pat are going to share a little bit today.
Good morning. Good morning. So we want to invite you, if you are feeling that sense of living in the flow in your own life, if you are tapping into that creative ability within you, we just want to invite you to go within your heart and search your soul and ask yourself, what is God calling me to be in this community? And as you do that, we invite you to look at your life and how it is flowing. And if you are living in that flow, that beautiful overflow in your own life, please share it with this community, because this community, it gives so much back to me in so many ways, and it can give so much back to you. And so please join us in sharing.
Thank you, Scott. In thinking about this, it seemed to me such a no-brainer. All we all have to do is ask 2 or 3 people, have you pledged yet? And we'll get the job done. Thank you.
All righty then. Thank you. So we have 2 tables right at the back where you can sign that little card or take it home and bring it back next week. Next, Posey Lyon is going to be giving this wonderful workshop called Becoming the Award-Winning Director of Your Own Life on Sunday, November 2nd in 2 weeks. And the sign-up sheet is right over here at the education table. And today, our own Gail Durkin, our president, can you stand up, Gail, is teaching a quick start. Now, the quick start is a 3-hour fundamental philosophy of what we teach here. And at the end of those 3 hours, it's not that you've just listened to philosophy. You have an opportunity to apply it to your own life, and you'll learn some spiritual skills that you can take home and make your life better Sunday night, not even waiting till Monday morning. And this is something really special that Reverend Sarah came up with, and actually it was Russ Mabardi as well. Sarah gives a Extra Edge coffee and conversation once a month at Il Fornaio, and Russ has been going and likes it so much that he said, why don't you give a taste to the community? And so this is a great statement about Reverend Sarah. She knows that the practical application of the principles of science of mind gives you an extra edge in your everyday life and your work. That's why it's called the Extra Edge. So it's about your life and how it works. And her topic today is self-care. Where are you on your list of priorities? And she's going to start 10 minutes after the service ends, so you can get your coffee and join her right out there on the patio. Golden Gate Gourmets for Good is starting up again, and I believe that we have sign-ups also at that back table. We are looking for hosts, those of you who would like to throw a party for 6 or 8 or 10 of us, and then we will sign up to come to your party. So the hosts come first. The parties are from January through May of next year. You get to decide where, when, and what you do. Happy birthday to the Scorpios is going to happen actually on Halloween night at Sue Ruta's house. And so all of you Scorpios, come there and let us love you completely, which I know you like. And So that's our gift to you. I am going to be teaching a Sunday series. The Sunday talks in November are all about generosity. Now, you should have received a flyer when you came in, a beautiful flyer that looks kind of like this slide. And Arthur had a great idea. He said, why don't you post it somewhere where you have coffee or where you get your hair cut, and then just come every Sunday, and maybe some of your cohorts will come as well. And finally, my November workshop about rest is coming up on Friday, November 7th. And you know, that's what this time of year is for. You know, the furry bear people and things like that that go into hibernation, they have it right. They rest, and we can do that too. Even with all the parties and everything else, we can rest, and it's a spiritual practice in the winter. So come and be with me. We need to have 6 people enrolled with pay ahead of time for me to do this because of the materials and stuff like that. So those are the announcements. We have a lot going on. So now, in preparation for the close, I would like the practitioners to surround the room. And I want us to come back to that place of feeling so loved and so leaky and so supported. We have more practitioners per membership than any other community I know, and it is so fabulous. So just receive this blessing from me, that I know that your life flows with good as you give your gifts that were given to you before you took birth. And the way to know what to do is to let Spirit guide your way. And so now, the affirmation. If you would stand, please, and read this with me. I flow gently and powerfully through life, giving my gifts and being divinely supported, free, joyful, and trusting. My life is so blessed.